afternoon and welcome to another Happy Paws Sunday afternoon chat. I have a very special guest with me today, Louise, who's going to introduce you to her two Happy Paws babies in a moment. But before I get started, I'd like to do the normal YouTube things. I'd like to ask you to please like, subscribe and share this video so that we can grow our channel. And also, please remember that we started our Sunday afternoon chats because of our 10th anniversary legacy appeal, which we've been running since June. I'm going to leave the Just Giving links down below. And if you would like to donate to our appeal, we would be ever so grateful. And I'm also going to leave all of our other social media links down below as well. So hello, Louise. Welcome to the chat.
Hi, Dominique. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. So could you please virtually introduce us to your two Happy Paws babies, which I think you've got some photographs behind you, haven't you?
I have. I've got our first rescue, Molly Lou, and then we have Master Harvey Bear.
And they're so beautiful.
We think so.
And we are going to meet them. So stay tuned at the end of the video. They will do appearances. So we will meet Harvey and Molly a little bit later. Yeah. So when did they come into your lives, Louise? When did you first get, was it Molly first?
Yeah, Molly Lou, named because she was found in a loo out in Turkey. So that was... Well, we actually picked her up from Lisa in May 2019, which just seems impossible now. It feels like we've had her forever, but when you sort of like look at her little life, you think, crikey, you know. So yeah, but we she was picked up or rescued, should I say? Oh gosh, I think it was probably the November time in 2018. And we'd lost our previous girl, Tilly, in the August. And I'd been doing bits, fundraising and stuff with Happy Paws. And I was at work, and we're not supposed to look at the internet. And this post had popped up. And it was fate. I swear it was fate. And I just quickly opened my phone, and there was this picture of this girl, and it was Miss Molly. And it was just her in this outside toilet, just, well, she was just, there was just nothing in her. You know, she'd just given up on life, basically. And I just, my heart was just drawn to her, and I knew she was going to be my next girl. And I messaged Lisa straight away because I thought there is absolutely no way anybody else is going to have this dog. She's coming home to me.
I think I mean, because I do the Instagram on and some of the social media for Happy Paws, I do see an awful lot of rescues. But there are certain dogs that really pull on your heartstrings. And I remember that photograph of Molly and Molly Lou, as she was called, because she was found in a toilet. And it never left me. It never left me, that image. Yeah. She was such a frightened little girl, wasn't she?
She was. And I think, you know, so many of the Happy Paws family remember that photograph, you know, and even now, it just breaks my heart to look back. You know, I try not to look back on that now. But yeah, I think everybody, you know, their hearts just went out to her. And
do we know if she'd ever been on a walk or had any love?
No, I don't think she had. She'd certainly never had any sort of form of socialization until she was picked up, you know, by Happy Paws. And that was quite evident when we got her home. And she was out of sort of the pack, you know. Yeah, yeah, there was she'd had no love, she'd had no socialization, there was absolutely nothing for her. And how somebody can do that to a defenseless creature, it's beyond me. It really is beyond me.
And then I know Happy Paws, when they first rescued her, as you said, in November 2018, they would have got her into a socialization program, given her some training. But even 6 months later, when she arrived with you, how did that lack of socialization and love affect her when she arrived with you?
She was just, well, I mean, she was so shut down, even, after she'd had that time, in the foster, with Scotty, in that home environment. She'd had other dogs around her. But it's a long journey that they go through. And I think, they are really affected, a lot of these dogs. And when you've got a dog like Molly, I think they don't forget their past, you know. Um, and I think there was always that element of, where am I going now? What's happening to me? And you could see that it was evident when we got her home. And you know what it's like when you get your dog, you love this creature instantly. We'd had all the photographs, and I couldn't wait. I was like the expectant mother.
I know the feeling.
And when we got down to Lisa to go and pick her up, just that feeling of instant love for her, and you just want to do your best. So we got her home, and so stupidly, we took her for a walk the next morning, because we thought, she's never had any of this. She's got this amazing world. She can meet all these lovely people that are dying to see her. And big mistake.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness, big mistake. Yeah. She just needed that downtime. She needed to decompress. And, some dogs, you hear, they've come into the family home and they've been, yay, I've got this new life and I'm really going to live it to the full extent now. She was like, just let me be. I just need to get used to my surroundings. And yeah, and it took us a little while to realize that.
I don't think people realize that decompression time and how important it is. And as we become second parents to rescue dogs, we learn that. I mean, certainly I do. And my Layla was actually found in a shed. But we don't know whether she was out or in at different times. We'll never really know. And I will tell you that Layla adores being outside. And that was the first thing that she wanted to do, is go outside. And because of the law, the DIFFER laws, I had to keep her inside for 48 hours, So it's, each dog is different. And so don't blame yourself at all. Don't call yourself stupidly at all, because you have to have the dog and understand the dog to know what they need, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And and having learned now, sorry, she's sitting here and I've got all these dog hairs.
Golden retriever.
Yeah, my golden glitter. Yeah, I mean, it's something, if you haven't rescued before. I mean, our first girl, she was a sort of a rescue. We took her on. She was being kept in a garden shed, but in this country. But it was, I don't know, it just seemed so different with her. And it was our first one. So we'd had another one in between. And I think you actually forget those times. And with Tilly, she just loved life and she was out there and, just wanted to live it. And I was expecting the same for Molly. And it is such a learning curve with a rescue. It really is.
How long do you think it took her to decompress?
Oh, crikey. Months and
Oh,
months.
really?
Yeah. I mean, even I would say well over a year before she was fully at ease. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still times, you know, where we see sort of the old Molly, the anxieties and everything else coming out in her. And, you know, we just have to manage the situations for her,
Of course you do.
you know, and try not to put her in those situations, you know, and it's hard. It is hard. You know, you've got a life to lead as well, or live, and they have to fit in as well. But I think, you know, we sort of tried to fit into her life as much as we could to start with.
I think Molly in particular had a very bad start to her life. How old do you think she was when she came to you?
Oh, she'd only just started, so she'd only just started to get her adult coat. So I think when she was rescued, she was probably just under a year.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
convinced of that. And when we took her to the vet just for a check over, you know, which I'm sure, you know, most people do with when they get their dogs, just for their own peace of mind, you know, and to make sure that you're doing everything that you can for
Yeah, of
that
course.
dog, you know. And our vet, she didn't think she was much older. I mean, obviously, by the time Molly was rescued and then we got her, she put on 18 months, you know, max for her age, you know. So I mean, bless her, she was still a puppy, really, you know, and she'd had all of that going on in her little life. And then we bring her to this like new scary house with these like crazy mum and dad, and you know,
It's one
like,
to love her.
yeah, yeah, you know. Um,
How long was it before you got Harvey, Louise?
So we got Harvey in August 21.
So there was 2 years in between, 2.5 years.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she just needed a friend. She's vision impaired in one eye. So when we're out on walks, we've got a lot of reactivity. And I thought the best thing that we could do is get her a friend. And we've always wanted to.
Have
Uh,
you?
yeah, yeah. So I spoke to Lisa, and we did have in mind another dog that we'd seen a picture of. And Lisa just knew that that wasn't going to work for us. Molly needed somebody that was really calm, or another dog that was really calm. And that's where Master Harvey Bear came in. And
And Do
yeah,
you
he
do
made
you
sense.
know Harvey's rescue story? Do you know how he was found?
So we were told that he was just left chained up to some railings, and that was it, just left. Um, yeah, beyond me, absolutely beyond me. Um,
It's beyond me. It has always been beyond me
yeah,
that somebody has bought, paid for a golden retriever puppy,
yeah,
which is not an inexpensive thing to do, and then got sick of them. I don't know, they've grown up bigger. I have no idea what could be possibly going through their head. And then thinking, well, I'll just chain them up on the street and I'm sure they'll be fine.
yeah.
Uh,
Let someone else deal with that problem.
Sadly, the reality is with the new law that's come in Turkey, that would actually be a death sentence. Harvey would have been picked up, taken to a
Yeah,
shelter, and put down.
yeah, quite possibly. Yeah,
And I don't think people realize that. I'm not sure what they think. We'll never be that sort of mind to understand.
no.
So you didn't know as much of a story as Harvey. But what I really want to know
No.
is when you brought Harvey home, how was Molly with that? How did she react to bringing a new dog into your home?
So we made sure that we were on sort of neutral territory. So we've got some playing fields literally just down the road from us. And Paul went down there with Harvey, and I came in and got Molly because we didn't take her down to collect him. because we just knew that she wouldn't cope with that situation, and we wanted to set them off on the right foot. So we took her, or I took her down to the field to meet Paul and Harvey, and we literally just started walking. There was no hellos, no nothing. We'd learnt the hard way. And this time we were going to make sure that we did it right, for both of them, you know. So we did a little walk, and then we literally came back home. We left the harnesses on, and I said to Paul, just in case, I don't want there to be a fight, but if we need to separate them, we need a harness on. We needn't have worried. We needn't have worried. We literally got them into the garden, took the leads off, and it was like they'd known each other forever.
Oh,
It was
that lovely?
meant to be. Yeah. It
So
just melted my heart.
it was just instant love?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And they've never had sort of a cross paw with each other.
And why do you think that is? What is it about Harvey that makes Molly comfortable?
He's a typical boy, you know. He's so laid back, and he hasn't got a care in the world, basically. And he's like, if you want to do that, you do it. Yeah, if you want to hump me, you hump me. I'll just sit here and you can do it. And it's like, really? And that is how stupid he is. But we wouldn't change him, you know, because that's what makes that relationship between them work, you know. And yeah, we've just been so lucky with both of them. Yeah.
Well, lucky, but obviously that conversation with Lisa that you had, and she said, I think I've got the dog for you, or the dog for Molly. She was right, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. And as much as I initially had that doubt, you know what it's like when you see a picture of a dog, or you have something in your mind of what you're going to have sort of join your family next. And yeah, she was telling us about Harvey and how wonderful he was, and I'm thinking, but he's not the same dog that I was looking at. And she said, just have a look at some photographs. So she sent the photos through, and his eyes were just like, yeah, you've won me over.
He's got hazel eyes, hasn't he?
He has,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I had
yeah,
a golden retriever with hazel eyes. They are quite amazing. I've had the black eyes and the brown, but hazel eyes are quite amazing. I
yeah.
think Lisa and I discussed this when we were talking about our adoption process, because we often get messages to say, please send me some photographs of dogs that are available. And we don't do that. We don't put dogs up on our website and say, choose a dog. Lisa has
No,
conversations with people and finds the right dog for their lives, for their situation, for other dogs that might be in their house. And I suppose that's just the perfect example of the reason why.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we get to see some of these dogs, you know, like, I mean, this latest humongous rescue, you know, of all these lovely dogs, you know, you get to see all these pictures, and I'm sure there is so many families out there gets to see a photograph and thinks, I want that dog. Well, you may want that dog, but that dog might not be right for your situation. And clearly Harvey was right for our situation. And yeah, you just have to put your trust in Lisa, and you know, and the team, you know, that work with her, that assess the dogs and get to know their personality and everything else. Yeah, and best thing we ever did.
I
Yeah.
know. I know. So now, 5 years on, Louise, what advice would you give to someone who's considering adopting a rescue dog?
Look at the dog you want to rescue, you know, the breed, that is, you know, don't just go and look at the pictures and think, oh, that's a cute dog, because that really could be the wrong dog for you. Speak to the rescue centre, the charity, and just find out as much as you can from them about the whole process, and make sure that the dogs that they have are going to be right for your situation, because the last thing you want is to fail that dog. And be guided, by the rescue centre, the charity. And I mean, Lisa was great with us for that. And I mean, as much as we could have looked at all these photographs of all these lovely dogs being rescued, and you really do have to listen and be guided by them, and what's best for you and what is going to fit into your life.
I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. So I think we've waited too long. Can we meet them? Can we meet?
Well, we
Is
can
there
try.
there?
Molly, here she is. Here's Molly. Come on then. You're going to go and say hello to Dominic and everybody. Paul, can you come and help me? We'll see Paul now.
We'll introduce Paul as well.
So this is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Here we go. Here's my big boy.
Oh, so this is Harvey.
This is Harvey Bat, yeah.
And he's lighter, isn't he?
He is. He's the lighter of the two.
Oh, what beautiful eyes he's got. What gorgeous eyes. Hello, Harvey.
Yeah. And are we going to let Molly out? Are we? Or you can just stay there for treats? Yeah. Come on, then you're going to get down. And here we have.
Oh,
Miss Molly.
Molly. Can you see
Mom.
me? Oh, oh, there she is.
Like...
Now we can see her beautiful face. And does she have a little white patch on the top of her head?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, it's almost like a heart. You probably can't see it in this light, but yeah, and she's our dark girl, and everyone comments on her beautiful colour.
She is.
We are so lucky with them. Yeah.
Oh, they're both beautiful, Louise, absolutely beautiful, and a great credit to you for everything that you've done. You've sent me a video, and after we finish, there is going to be a little video of Harvey and Molly playing, and everyone will see how wonderful they are with each other and how wonderful you are with them.
Yeah, they're just sort of the best of friends. She's gonna have to get down, sorry. There you go. There you go. That's it.
They're not quite lap dogs, are they?
Well, no, but they think they are.
They do think they are. They do think they are. Oh, look, Louise, thank you so much. And thank you to Paul, and thank you to Harvey, and thank you to Molly. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday afternoon. It's just been lovely having you. We are so grateful to our families who take on our rescue dogs. It's the last part of the process. It takes months, as we've discussed before, but it's the families who take it to the next step and make the dogs' lives the real joy. So I've called this From Rescue to Living the Dream, and I think they're really living the dream, aren't they?
Oh, I think they are, but I think we are as well. It's they just make your life complete. They really do. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah.
So that's our Sunday afternoon chat for today. May I just remind you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, please remember, if you would like to help us make more dreams come true for our rescue kids, please consider giving to our 10th anniversary legacy appeal, and the link to our Just Giving page will be down below. Next week is a very special week. It's the Happy Paws Walk next week in the south of England. I'll leave the picture of it. If somebody is in the south of England and you would like to come along, please do. We still have a few tickets left, but next week I am going to be coming live from the walk. I don't know how successful the IT will be. I don't know how much Wi-Fi I'll be able to get, but we won't be having a sit-down chat like we normally do. I'll be doing interviews live actually at the walk, which is very exciting, very, very exciting for me anyway. And Layla will be with me. Where is she? She's under my chair again. I think she's been walking back and forth, so you may have seen her. Louise, have a wonderful week, and I may see you at the walk next week.
Yes, fingers crossed. I'm hoping to bring Harvey along. So yeah, it'll be too much for Molly, but yeah, she'll be with Paul, so she'll get a
Thank you
nice
for
treat.
everything you've done for the dogs. They're just a dream to watch, absolute dream. And thank you everyone for listening. We will see you next week live from the Happy Paws Walk. Bye everyone.
How cool is that? He's gone to let in the shade.